Hello everybody. So the purpose of today's assignment be to give you a chance to review multiple choice, and you will see patterns. The the questions I will be going over with you in the next few videos will be very similar to the ones you will complete on the second half of this assignment, and will also be very similar to the ones that you will have on the unit exam. So without taking any more time, let me go ahead and get started over the review for this question one. So this is a question about our article on the Las Vegas shooting. So before I do anything, let me go ahead and read the question and then our answers. So which sentence below best describes the author's purpose for writing this text? A. The author is attempting to portray the threats of gun violence in order to promote gun regulation. B. The author is requesting for Americans to take care of their mental health to prevent mass shootings. C. The author is portraying the horrors lived by concert goers and its impact nationwide. D. The author is commemorating the lives lost during the shooting. So at this point, you may already have a sense of what is the answer or which ones are not. But before I give you guys the answer or show you how to get there, I do want to go over some tips that you should take into account as you're answering these. And you're probably also doing many of these actions. So the first thing, just after you read the question, skim back over the text with the question being asked in mind. So just read or skim through that text considering this question. Second, compare multiple choice answers to major themes in the article. So look at these choices you have and compare them to some of the major themes and some of the major ideas that were displayed in the article. Third, use process of elimination, and I'll be showing you guys how to do that today. That's always very helpful. Third, double check your answer to make sure it makes sense. So, for example, here, if there's no E, but if I thought the answer was E, I would reread it and compare it to the question just to make sure it's correct. All right, so here's our question. And so I will follow these steps. Let's say I already skimmed back over the reading, and I already know that this is largely about the very tragic event that happened in Las Vegas, and the narrator uses much of the text to explain what happened and some of its immediate impact. Now, compare multiple choice answers to major themes in the article. This is where I will start to go through each of these answers. First, this one is talking about gun regulation. If you look at the article, I don't believe it mentions gun regulation at all. And if it does, it's very minor. So this is where I start using the process of elimination. I think A is a no-go. Now B, it talks about mental health. And the article also does not really talk much about mental health. So again, I'm comparing this to the major themes in the article. And with process of elimination, I believe the answer will not be B. Going into C, the author is portraying the horrors lived by concert goers and its impact nationwide. This is a possibility, mainly because a lot of the article is explaining to you what happened and then the reactions of the concert goers. If you notice, it does have about 2 or 3 quotes from the concert goers themselves. So C is very likely. Now, because of process elimination, I'll look at D, and if this does not make sense, C will likely be my answer. So the author is commemorating the lives lost during the shooting. This is a maybe, because by mentioning what is happening, you are commemorating, but it is not a better answer to C. It would be a better answer if the author was, for example, listing out the names of the people that died and mentioning something encouraging about them or about what happened, but it doesn't do that. It focuses a lot more on what happened. So for that reason, the answer for question 1 would be C.